First, we are going to see sampling. First, introduction. We are going to see some basic concepts. First, population. The population represents the complete set of elements, individuals, objects or data in large size. It is a very large size, that is world population or Indian population, or particularly you can go to the particular state population. So these are all the large one. Suppose if you are having 100 tons of rice or 1000 tons of wheat, or production in complete production in a factory, car factory, their production per month will be let us assume that 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs costs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, right? These are all the large population, right? That is called population, right? So example, population in a country, you can take city or street, students in a school, college, university, production in a factory or industry, right? These are all the population, right? Next we are going to see sample. Sample is a subset of population. That is, sample represents the subset of large elements, individuals, objects or data. Simply, it is a subset of population, right? A smaller manageable group selected from the population. Suppose if you are having if you want a sample of some population from India, you can take few peoples, right? So instead of considering all total population, so you can take a few hundred, 200, that is the population, 100 Indians, 200 Indians, or you can take suppose 300 crores of USA population, right? That is population. So we can take as a big set. So if you want to check, if you want to take some sample from that, you can choose 100 Americans or whatever it is, 100, 200, 1000, they are all small one, right? That is a subset of that larger set. So that is called sample, right? It is used to draw conclusion about the entire population. If you can take so we want to check the Indian culture or food habit, so whatever it is, right? So if you can take 100 Indians, then ask them what is their culture, then how they are dressing, so daily attitudes, daily activities and whatever it is, then what is the function they are celebrating, right? If you can take that one, so from that you can conclude that all Indians are celebrating this festival, all Indians are like this, their attitude is like this, their activities is like this, their food habit is like this. We can represent the total population based on the sample population, right? So if we want to know IQ of all students in a college, we might measure IQ of randomly selected group of 100 students instead of measuring IQ of every single students in the college. So if you want to test, there are 5000 students in a college. If you want to check the IQ of all students, IQ of students from that particular institute, so if you go through each and every student, it will take more time. It is not possible at all, right? You have to check each and every students, right? All 5000 students. Instead of that, take the sample from the various levels, right? You take instead of 5000, you can take 100 or 200 students from that, then check their IQs. From that you can conclude that all the students from this college, right, have the level of IQ is like this. So you can fix that. That is what, right? Here all students in the college is that institute is population, and randomly selected group 100 students is sample. If a company wants to know opinions of all employees about new policy, suppose if a company implement a new policy, they want to know how it is helpful for them or there are advantages or disadvantages. So is there any modification in that policy? If you want to check with employees, so they might survey a sample of 1000 employees. Suppose if you are having 10,000 employees in a very big factory or industry, so you can select various level of employees, 1000 employees from that industry, and you can ask their opinion, and from their opinion you can had a conclusion, right? That from that conclusion you can modify, or it is there is no modification needed, or you can conclude that, right, whether the policy is good or bad, like that, right? Here all employees in the company is population, randomly selected group 1000 employees sample, right? So from that we are choosing sample. Next, population size. The population size represents the total number of individuals items in the population. Suppose I told you, right, so in Indian population 130 crores, American population 30 crores, right? That is the size, right? Production of the factory per month 5 lakhs costs, right? That is the large size, that is the size of the population. Sample size, if you are taking small amount or small individuals or small number of items from the large population, that is called sample. So if you are choosing 200 persons, 300 persons, right, if you are choosing 10 cars, 20 cars from the large population, that is called sample size. Total number of individuals items in the sample, right? Sampling, it is the method of selecting a subgroup set from the large group or set, that is population. Sampling is to collecting the sample from the population, that is the technique. You have to collect the sample, right? There are various methods are there, so that methods are called sampling techniques or sampling. To study, to draw a conclusion about the population, right? I already told you. So instead of checking all the population, so we are checking the samples. So from that samples we are going to draw a conclusion about the population. Large sampling, if the size of the sample is the size of the sample is greater than or equal to 30. So if it is more than 30, then it is called large. Small sampling, it is less than 30, then it is called small sampling. Test statistics, it is a number calculated from the statistical test related to the hypothesis. So it is a formula, you can take as a formula. From that we are going to calculate, we are substituting the all values in the formula. First we are going to find the details, whatever the details in the formula, we are going to find the values of those details, then put it in that formula, then we'll get a number. That is called test statistics. So this is related to the hypothesis. So what is the hypothesis? It is a statement about the population parameter. So if you want to check, Indians are very decent and their culture is like this, so we have to adopt all those things. It is very useful for human life. So these are all the statements. So if you want to check the statement, so you have to take the sample and work out on that, right? It is an assumption about the population parameter which is to be tested. It is evaluated from the sample data using the test statistics. That is what, if you are choosing a car, so if you are thinking that car is branded, that is number one in the world, so how they are putting a stamp on that, that is, it is number one, it is number two, this is high class, this is low class, how they are choosing, how they are nominating like that. So for that, first they are testing like that, right? So number one means they select that car, then compare with other cars, right? So what are the facilities, features in this car, then compare with that, then what is the rate, then what is the consumption, so what is the life, everything they will check, then what is the comfort inside the car, right? So what are the advantages to protect from the accident, right? So everything they will check, then they will nominate this car is number 1, so this is number 2, like that. From that only they are nominated. So if you are assuming that this is number 1, that is called the parameter. So we are going to check this parameter from the sample using the test statistics, right? Example, average height of men is more than average height of women. This is a statement, and night sleep affects the academic performance, right? Like these statements. So type of hypothesis, there are 2 types. One is null, another one is alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis, it is a statistical statement representing the default assumption of the population parameter. So here we are assuming that this is number 1. So these are all the food habit of Indians, these are all the food habit of Americans. So their culture is like this, American cultures. So their futures, so their human futures, Indians are their color, eye type and hair type. So Americans are like this, their skin color, eye type, hair color, everything. So these are all the default statement assumption. So American will be like this, Indians will be like this, and African will be like this, right? So Chinese will be like this. So these are all the assumptions, right, about the population parameter. It is a statement or claim that assume there is no statistical significant difference affects or a relationship between variables in the population, right? It is denoted by H0, H0, HO, whatever it is, right? Examples, if testing the difference in salary based on gender in a factory workers, suppose male and female workers are there in a factory, right? We know. So if you want to test the difference in salary based on gender, male are getting this much, females are getting this much, so but they are in the same category. So if we are due to gender difference, they are getting the salary low or high. So if you want to test the gender, salary based on gender in a factory workers, so we are assuming the null hypothesis. There is no if it is a same category, they are getting the same salary, right? This is what, right? So we are assuming no significant difference in the salary of workers based on gender. So testing the effectiveness of a drug. So yeah, suppose if you are new, if a company, drug company, right, wants to know the significant difference of a new drug for fever or something, so they have assuming that there is no significant effect on the patient. So this is like previous drug, so there is no significant, they assume like that, then they found the difference, right? Alternate hypothesis just opposite to null hypothesis, right? This is contradict the null hypothesis, right? Suppose if it is there is no significant difference in null hypothesis, here there is a significant difference, right? That is what it is denoted by H1 or HA, alternate hypothesis, right? Null hypothesis 0, they will put H0 null. Alternate hypothesis A, sometimes they will put 1, HA or H1. If testing the difference in salary based on gender in a factory workers, so alternate hypothesis, male factory workers have higher salary than female workers, so that is opposite. Or you can take otherwise, female workers have higher salary than male workers. So there is a significant difference in the salary of workers based on gender. So you can take like this or that way. New drugs, testing the effectiveness of new drugs. So alternate hypothesis, there has the drug has a significant difference effect on patients, right? Thanks. We'll see you in the next video.